Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. We're going to take a quick look here at Cartesi, and just before we do, take a quick peek at Bitcoin as well, just so we know kind of what's going on there. Obviously, didn't make much of a difference for Cartesi, but we just like to know that as well, right? So just to quickly understand, Bitcoin is about 65,000. We had a pretty strong decrease yesterday when it tried to test right around 68,000. First correction, 69,000. Got rejected hard, came all the way down to about 62. Is about a 9% correction. That was mostly because of the news over in China with the real estate company there going belly up, and that kind of caused a ripple over here. So just note it's trending right around 65,000. It may not jump up right away because most of the time when you come down that hard, it takes a little while to recover. But that's essentially what's going on with Bitcoin right now. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at Cartesi. So I can see it tested its all-time high today. Pretty strong. Look at that. All right, so let's look at a big picture here. First of all, I think that is, yeah. All right, so let's go with that big picture here. So back in, what was it? Back in May, just before the Elon candle on May 9th, we saw $1.72 for Cartesi, just cranking. It comes down, jumps back up eventually somewhere in August, late August, early August, August 9th, tests $1.26, consolidates, does its thing, and now here in 2 days later, or 2 days ago rather, it started its push to its all-time high, got rejected its all-time high about 172, and of course this could be a very strong support level here right about 126. So just note that we're going to be probably within this channel here. We got to see where the one-day candlestick closes first to understand that. Keep this in mind, the one-day candlestick is the most important candlestick to close above that line, because if it does, it's considered a support, and we can probably expect the price to continue either sideways or up from there. But for right now, a little premature to understand, but we'll look at smaller time frames to see. Obviously, RSI's up over 70. That's pretty standard. We see that all the time. Where's the 4-hour chart looking? It's coming back down to 70. So it'd be interesting to see if the price bounces off 70 on the 4-hour RSI or not. But my guess is it wouldn't, and it'll likely come down to this next closest support at 126. And it's a lot of movement in just a short amount of time, so keep that in mind. I mean, this retracement is down about 20% from the top, so it's quite a lot. Hopefully none of you got in at the top, but if you do or did, I wouldn't see a problem with holding based on the simple fact that it's obvious that it's going to try to do this again, probably in the near future. The problem, though, is that it does have a tendency of ramping up super hard, super quick, and then trailing off about 60%. So if that same sentiment applies, we could see the support level not hold and it'll come down even lower. But we'll go ahead and identify that. So on the 4-hour chart, let's go ahead and take a look at this this retracement here. Just go ahead and pull this guy up here. We can see that previous support level is right in the middle. That's pretty standard. A lot of times support levels, previous highs, fall right in the middle of the Fibonacci retracement lines. In other words, in between 0.382 and 0.5, it's common for that to happen. So that really just reaffirms this as a strong support zone. So heaven forbid we lose one of these two support levels. I would say that $1.20 should be the lowest this will go, right? But I'm hoping that $1.30 will hold, because that could be the primary support. Again, a little too early to tell, but we'll get there soon. We'll find out what's happening. I'll try to maybe review this again here in the near future so we can kind of keep a closer eye on it, because I did get a lot of requests for this one recently, and I have a big community based on Cartesi alone. So thanks again for all of your support. We'll go ahead and mark this as well. I don't think it's necessary, but $1.08 would be pretty much a worst case scenario there. And obviously we got that resistance there. Let's just do one last line here. Let's go with $1.40. So all in all, taking a look here, we can kind of see what's going on. So for lack of better terms, we got this little support channel here between 120 and 130. And right now the price is kind of trending towards 130, and we'll see how that responds. There's a good chance it will kind of continue to progress lower just based on the natural law of how trading works. It's very common for coins that jump up this fast in that short amount of time to retrace to like the lower two Fibonacci retracement lines, right? And what that would be is, again, right around $1.08 or $1.20. I think that's a strong likelihood we might see that in the near future. So if I were you, I would just kind of try to wait. I mean, unless you're interested in dollar cost averaging, you're trying to lower your overall average, I would wait a little bit to make sure that the price kind of levels out, because this kind of increase is a pretty significant thing when we can't just kind of jump in arbitrarily, right? And let's take a look at this here previously. Like, look, this is the previous one, for example. Strong increase, right? And where'd it go? There we go. All right, so this guy right here, look at massive increase, looks very similar. And let's take a quick look at this Fibonacci retracement here and see. You see how it came to right in between, eventually resided right in between the lower two Fibonacci retracement lines. If we take that same exact sentiment and come over here with it, you'll see that there's a strong chance the price might actually end up consolidating closer into this range. The only reason why I think it might still stay within this channel here between 120 and 130 is because it has a lot more momentum and the market is in much better quality right now. Bitcoin, trending closer to 69,000 recently. I think there's a reason why this is taking off, and it should hold its position better than last time, just based on the fact that it has more volume and effectively more volatility because of it. So all in all, good stuff here. I think Cartesi's definitely got some good potential, and based on the sentiment alone, again, this is not exact, but I would say 260, 255 range would be a better case scenario if we saw a rinse and repeat of the current price action. So this increase right here, if we see that doubled right up in this range here, we could see about a 50% increase from the highest point to upwards of about $2.55. But I don't foresee that happening right away, personally, just based on its history and how quickly it typically retraces. I think we might be looking at perhaps by month end to see this kind of goal, right? So I would just set some alerts. In fact, I'll do that right now. Set some alerts for $1.30 and just kind of see if that, if it's looking good at that point, right? If it holds that support level, then I'll be all good and maybe take a position alongside, but I don't think it's going to bounce back quickly, just again based on the sheer fact that it came up too quick and came down. And you've probably heard this analogy before, but if you're new to the channel, simply put, what happens is when you increase a price too quickly, it's like walking to the top of a flight of stairs and tripping on the last step and falling all the way down. It's going to really mess you up, right? It's going to hurt like heck. It's going to take you days, weeks, perhaps even months to recover. Well, Cartesi is the same thing, right? It just fell down a flight of stairs. It needs time to consolidate and retrace before it can leg up again, right? So that's just a good analogy, kind of drive the price home there. And hopefully you understand what I mean by that. And obviously, if you find benefit here, please consider joining my Patreon community. I send out signals for every single trade that I take. I share my trades with my members. But more importantly, I'm actually helping educate people on becoming better traders. It's growing fast too. And again, we're going to have probably a max, I'm pretty sure about 200 members for the moment, kind of see how that goes. And we're trending close to that already. There is a limit. And of course, price will increase next month too. So you might want to consider jumping in there and locking in your rates for the holiday season. So I hope you are doing fantastic yourself, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much again for joining me here. You take care.